So if you take 120 million people and multiply by $15, that is $1.8 billion. Let's say Avengers Endgame makes $1.8 billion at the box office. I would suggest it's down to this split or something very similar. So there's 100 million people who have spent their last 10 years watching all or some of the Marvel movies. But there's now 20 million who are new to the Marvel universe, and they've been brought in by the feminism and the imagery and the politics and the marketing of Captain Marvel. So these are fans of Captain Marvel who may not have watched any of the movies before or paid to go and watch them at the cinema. They might have watched them on DVD or they might have watched them on Netflix. But these 20 million people, they want to see Captain Marvel kill Thanos, and they're going to feel very disappointed and almost duped if Captain Marvel doesn't kill Thanos. And if you go on Twitter, you'll see that. You'll see people saying they can't wait until Captain Marvel kills Thanos. And it's almost as if, by reading what they're saying, if Captain Marvel doesn't kill Thanos, they're going to feel very disappointed. They're going to feel duped and conned and almost scammed because they've invested their time and money in the last few weeks watching the Captain Marvel movie and being told that Captain Marvel is the most powerful Avenger, yet she doesn't kill Thanos. But conversely, you've got 100 million people over here who have spent their time and money over the last 10 years watching these characters like Captain America, Iron Man and Thor, and yet they don't kill Thanos. So the outcome is that Marvel has expanded their fan base by releasing Captain Marvel. They've now got 120 million core or avid Marvel fans. But that customer group, that fan base that has expanded, has now been split. And you can see it on Twitter. You can see people posting that they want to see Captain Marvel kill Thanos, or they don't want to see Captain Marvel kill Thanos. And that is very dangerous. When you split your fan base, we've seen it with Star Wars and The Last Jedi. When you split the fan base, you get these real arguments taking place online. So let's say, for example, that Iron Man kills Thanos. You'll see fans saying that they're really happy to see Iron Man kill Thanos, but you'd also see many fans unhappy that Captain Marvel didn't kill Thanos. And this is a terrible mistake that Marvel has made. And if you go beyond Avengers Endgame and over the next 10 years, people will have in their mind that this process could repeat itself. So let's say, for example, Shang-Chi is released and people spend the next 10 years watching Shang-Chi movies and supporting that character. Yet at the very last minute, 10 years from now, a new character comes along and takes away all the credit from Shang-Chi. Those fans are going to be very disappointed and feel duped. And people are going to think, why would I want to spend the next 10 years watching and supporting the new Marvel characters when out of nowhere a new character comes along and takes away all the glory and all the credit by killing the next big villain that replaces Thanos. So the mistake that Marvel has made by releasing Captain Marvel in order just to make more money and almost be greedy is going to hit Endgame very hard. You'll see it. A few weeks from now, you'll see people going online, going on Twitter, going on YouTube, arguing against each other, saying that I want to see one of these characters kill Thanos, and you'll see people saying I want to see Captain Marvel kill Thanos. And it could also happen to Captain Marvel. So let's say, for example, there's another 2 movies from Captain Marvel over the next 6 years. So 6 years from now, there's a new villain comes along who replaces Thanos. And all the Marvel fans think that Captain Marvel is going to kill that villain. Yet a new character comes along out of nowhere and kills that villain. People are going to think, well, I've been duped once, will I be duped again? So Marvel just made a terrible mistake in bringing in Captain Marvel at the very last minute. And I don't want to focus too much on Captain Marvel because, like I said, it could be any character. Let's say, for example, they introduced a male obese character or a black character or an Asian character at the very last minute and they went on and killed Thanos. It would disappoint all the fans who have watched all these movies and all these characters develop over the last 10 years. So it is down to Captain Marvel, but it could have been any character. And people will be thinking over the next 10 years, will that happen again? 10 years from now, would a new character come along at the very last minute and take away all the glory? So Marvel have a really terrible, horrendous mistake. They have expanded their customer base, but they've also split their customer base. And that's a really negative thing to do. We've seen it with Star Wars. But if you disagree, if you think that introducing a new character right at the end is a good thing for Marvel to do, then please leave your comments below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. But for me, Marvel has made a terrible mistake. Yes, they've expanded their customer base, they've brought in more fans, but they've also split that fan base. And it's going to cause a lot of problems for Marvel, both with Avengers Endgame and over the next 10 years.